What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Now, the Detroit Lions have come out. There's been a lot of news and a lot of speculation from the fans and the organization and the media that Robert Saleh at this time and at this point in time is the front runner for the Detroit Lions head coaching job in the 2021 season. There have been reports that the fans want him, the Lions want him, he wants to be here, some players want him to go here. There's been a lot of media, there's been a lot of news, and there's been a lot of speculation that he is the current front runner for the position. And with that being the case, and with the 49ers being one of the few teams that stand in the Lions' way of making a wild card push at the end of the season, a lot of Lions fans are starting to tune into 49ers games, and especially with their last game in Sunday night being a primetime game. It was a perfect opportunity for Lions fans to check in on Robert Saleh, to check in on the 49ers, and see exactly what to expect from our future head coach, or our potential future head coach. And I'm not gonna lie, Lions fans were not happy. They were not, accepting of the outcome. Robert Saleh's defense did not have a great game on either the passing or the rushing defense. It wasn't a very good day for the Robert Saleh 49ers. And, Lions fans all of a sudden, with one poor game under Robert Saleh's belt, started bickering, they started debating, they started second guessing themselves on whether or not he should be the guy the Lions tried to bring in. And, in this video today, this is not really going to be a Lions video, although it is indirectly related to the Lions because he's a coaching candidate. Obviously, he's one of the top coaching candidates. So this is not necessarily a Lions video, but this is connected to the Detroit Lions and could be connected to the Detroit Lions in the near future. So I did want to go over this performance by Robert Saleh, talk about the pros, talk about the cons, talk about some of the context of the situations he was put in, and, kind of bring it back down to earth a little bit, kind of bring the panic level back down and prove that Robert Saleh is a good head coach. This game was an outlier. Were the stats great? No, but Robert Saleh is a good enough head coach. He will bounce back, and this game truly was not as bad as many people are making it out to be. Before we get into diagnosing this game and diagnosing Robert Saleh's defensive performance on Sunday night, if you are new to the Detroit Lions channel, if you are new to this channel, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It only takes 2 seconds out of your day to do so, and it helps the channel out more than you could know. So if you could do that, just take those 2 seconds to like and subscribe. I'd be greatly appreciative for it. But without any further ado, let's get into talking about Robert Saleh's performance on Sunday night and why the Lions fans need to bring back the panic and just relax a little bit. Now, as I said, Robert Saleh's defensive performance, the performance that his defense put out there, was not the best and was not necessarily the best defensive performance to show future Lions fans what our potential head coach is capable of. His defense gave up 375 passing yards and 4 passing touchdowns. With that being the case, they gave up 34 points on the day, and the defense did not look particularly great. However, those numbers don't look great, and the film didn't look necessarily fantastic for the Niners defense, but if you look at the context of the football game and you look at some of the situations the defense was set up in, 34 points does not seem that bad. The defensive performance does not seem particularly terrible, and overall the defensive performance by the 49ers was not as poor and was not as bad as many people are making it out to be. One thing to keep very, very close to mind is that the Buffalo Bills are a very good offense. They have a very good offensive coordinator who very well could get a head coaching job as early as the 2021 season. The Buffalo Bills are the third passing offense in the NFL right now with 3,317 passing yards in 12 games, averaging over 276 passing yards each and every football game, with several games having over 300, 350 yards passing. Josh Allen is a very good young quarterback. He's probably a top 5 arm talent in the NFL. Not a top 5 quarterback, mind you, but a top 5 arm talent. He can put the ball anywhere on the field. He can throw the ball 80 yards through the air. He can place it anywhere on a dime, on a rope. He can loft it. He can put touch. He can throw it anywhere on the field, and he is a top 5 arm talent in the NFL. And in Sunday's game, he made some of the most impressive throws I've ever seen Josh Allen make. He threw some absolutely perfect dimes to his wide receivers that no matter the coverage, no matter the call, no matter the play style, they were going to get beat because Josh Allen was just on Sunday night. He was just having a really good game. He was in the zone, and it really didn't matter what Saleh's team did. Josh Allen was going to have a good football game, and he made some very impressive and borderline perfect throws in last Sunday's game. So again, it's not necessarily fair to say that Robert Saleh's defense sucks because Josh Allen, one of the better young quarterbacks in the NFL and one of the statistically top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL, torched his defense and had a good game. That is not reason enough for me to second guess him yet. His whole career, his whole resume shows me that he has a good defense, and one outlier game does not, to me, tell me that he can't do the job and can't be a good head coach. The Buffalo Bills offense is also a top 10 scoring offense in the NFL. They, I believe, are ranked 10th in the NFL now, averaging 27.8 points per game. So a very good scoring offense, a very good passing offense with a very depleted 49ers defense. All the things were there, all the components and all the ingredients were there for the 49ers defense to not have the greatest performance. And it didn't help that the offense helped them out very, very little and put them in situations to fail and put them in situations to not succeed. Now, the 49ers in Sunday's game were dominated in the time of possession. The 49ers defense did get one turnover in that game, but the 49ers offense turned the ball over twice. So that's 2 lost possessions by the 49ers offense that they could have at least gotten points on. And what did the 49ers lose by? 2 possessions. So the 49ers offense gave up 2 possessions that they could have scored on and used to win the game. The 49ers defense got one of those possessions back when they did get their own turnover. So that is a 3 possession swing right there, where if the 49ers offense just didn't turn the ball over, then that's a very good opportunity for the San Francisco 49ers to go down and make some plays and score more points. And if the 49ers if the 49ers offense did not turn the ball over, it would have been a very, very different game. And even with them being put in bad positions all night, the 49ers defense did not play particularly poor on tape. They had 1 turnover of their own. I believe they forced a fumble and recovered it. They had a 44% third down conversion percentage, which is a fairly good. 4 for 9 is not a bad margin in the NFL. They had 1 fourth down stop on the goal line to save a possession and to save points for the 49ers, which again is a drive where the Rams could have scored and they came up empty. So that is a potential 4-score swing right there that the 49ers offense could have capitalized on and just never really took the opportunity and never was able to fully capitalize on. Those defensive stats aren't bad, right? 44% completion percentage or 44% third down conversion percentage is pretty good for a defense. If your defense forces 1 turnover, gets 1 fourth down stop, and is allowing only a 44% conversion percentage, truly you should be winning the football game. But the Niners offense turned the ball over too often. They were dominated in time of possession. They couldn't stay on the field as an offense. They turned the ball over when they were on the football field. And they set the Robert Salehs defense up in very, very poor positions all night long. And again, Josh Allen is a good enough quarterback where if you give him the ball in the red zone, he is going to score 9 times out of 10. And one of the touchdowns that the Buffalo Bills scored was right on the goal line where the linebacker met, I believe, the wide receiver or the tight end right on the goal line and just barely by an inch or two was, led into the end zone. Very close touchdown. Sometimes you're going to make that play, sometimes you're not. That's not necessarily on Robert Saleh. It's a game of inches for a reason, and the linebacker was late by a couple of inches. Another one of the touchdowns that Robert Saleh's defense gave up, I believe it was Jason Verrett. He got his eyes caught in the backfield and just stopped moving. Not a bad call by Robert Saleh. Did not put his players in poor positions to make or to get beat. The cornerback just had a lapse in judgment, got his eyes caught on the quarterback. Josh Allen did an easy pump fake. Jason Verrett jumped on the pass, and a dude was wide open in the end zone. That's not on Robert Saleh. That was a lapse in judgment of the player. Robert Saleh's defensive coverage, the thing that he called, put his player in a position to be where the ball went and put him in a position to make the play, but a lapse in judgment of said player is what allowed the touchdown on the game and is what allowed pretty much the game-sealing touchdown by the Buffalo Bills. Now, the 49ers defense not only was put in good position, they actually did some pretty decent things without a lot of star players. I already mentioned, obviously, the 1 turnover, the 44th third down, the 44th third down conversion, the obviously 4th down goal and the 4th and goal stop that the Niners had early in the ball game. They also only allowed 84 rushing yards, which is about 20 rushing yards less than the Buffalo Bills average per game. And they did all of this. They did all of this work without their best pass rusher in without their best pass rusher in Nick Bosa, without a rotational pass rusher in Ziggy Ansah, without Jonathan Cyprien, a starting or at least really, really impactful safety. They did it without Jaquiski Tartt, a starting safety. They did it without Dee Ford, who was a starting defensive lineman, and several other. Solomon Thomas is in there as well, and a lot of other defenders were not able to participate in the contest because they were on injured reserve or because they were on injury injury report during the game. So they basically were without their entire starting defensive line, which has been the case for a majority of the year. They were without a lot of their secondary and a lot of their playmaking safeties over the top, and Robert Saleh's defense still was able to force a turnover, still was able to hold a Buffalo Bills team to a field goal when they were set up in the red zone, still was able to have a pretty good third down conversion rate, still was able to hold the Bills to less rushing yards than average, and was still able to at least put his team in a situation to win if the offense were able to capitalize on said opportunities. Robert Saleh's D was not great on Sunday night. I'm not here to tell you and defend Robert Saleh necessarily and say, oh, well, he was perfect in the game. I'm not here to tell you that he was perfect, because he wasn't perfect. Robert Saleh was far from perfect in Sunday's game. He made his mistakes. His defense made mistakes. Everybody made mistakes on Sunday night. But Robert Saleh is allowed to make mistakes, guys. Robert Saleh is allowed to have one bad game in a season of very good football games. He is a human being. He is a person. He's going to make mistakes. His players are going to make mistakes. But, you can't judge Robert Saleh, and you can't say he's a bad coaching candidate strictly off of a one-game scenario. You cannot look at that one poor game by the 49ers defense and say, well, he can't be the head coach because, look, his defense just gave up 34 points, which is what we were experiencing anyway under Matt Patricia. That's not the case. Robert Saleh's resume, Robert Saleh, everything else he's done this season, all of a sudden, because the Lions fans watched one game of Robert Saleh, all of a sudden the rest of his career, the rest of his resume is all of a sudden invalid because he had one poor football game. Robert Saleh has shown consistency. He has shown the ability to fight through adversity, and he did it once again on Sunday night. And truly, his defense did not play that poorly of a football game. Lions fans are just very hesitant at this point because we hired a defensive head coach in Matt Patricia, and it didn't work out. So Lions fans are a little worried that they're going to get burnt again if we hire Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh is a good coach. Robert Saleh can get a defense right even with injuries and even with injury concerns. Robert Saleh's defense can put you in a position to win every single football game, and his defense did that over and over and over again, and Robert Saleh's defense cannot force the offense to capitalize. Robert Saleh's defense cannot force the 49ers to not throw 2 interceptions. Robert Saleh's defense cannot make it so the 49ers capitalize on his opportunities that his defense gave them and score points to win a football game. Robert Saleh's defense was far from perfect on Sunday night, but it was not bad either. Looking at the context, looking at this situation, looking at where the offense put his defense in the position he put his defense in, Robert Saleh's defense truly could not have played a much better football game. They were put in position to fail over and over and over again by the offense. The Bills offense was set up in the 49ers territory several times, and the 49ers turned the ball over way too much. They were dominated in time of possession, and truly, overall, the 49ers just were out-coached in this game. They were out-coached. Robert Saleh did not call his best game, but to freak out and say Robert Saleh can't coach because he had one poor football game where his defense gave up 34 points and still got a turnover and a 4th down stop and still put his team in a position where they could have capitalized and won does not make sense. He is a good head coach. He is and still should be the top coaching candidate for the Detroit Lions. And we as Lions fans cannot turn after one game and say, oh, well, he can't coach. Because if we do that, we can go through every coaching candidate in NFL history. We can go through every head coach, every coordinator, every positional coach in NFL history and find a bad football game. If we turn on our head coach after one bad game, if you turn on a coach and a coaching candidate after one bad game, you're never going to find a head coach because coaches have bad days. Coaches and play callers have bad days, but what I'm looking for is consistency, and Robert Saleh throughout his career and throughout his tenure with the 49ers has consistently shown consistency. He has shown that he can consistently get his defense to play hard and play well, and one outlier to me does not prove enough to make me think that Robert Saleh is off the board or that Robert Saleh is the wrong choice. Now, with all that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. A little bit different of a video today, not really a Detroit Lions video, kind of, indirectly related to the Detroit Lions. And I think I might start doing a couple more of these, talk about some other football teams, especially when the playoffs do eventually roll around. I just want to get outside my comfort zone a little bit, experiment, see where some things work, see where some things don't work, try to experiment a little bit with the channel and see if we can get a little bit more growth here. It's going to be primarily Lions stuff still, but I do want to branch out a little bit come playoff time to some more teams, to some other football teams, and maybe just the NFL in general. So if you want to see that, let me know that down in the comments below. But with all that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. If there's Lions news before tomorrow, then I will obviously make a video letting every single person know. But if there is no Lions news, then that is all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all tomorrow with more Lions content. Thank you all for watching. Bye, guys.